No, we just
You go
fight
against the
back.
system,
We've
you know.
appealed. We've been criticized by this judge over and over and over. Oh, they're going to appeal this, but we do appeal. Now, even this judge in the appeal, we're blacklisted across
It's
the
not
board.
for the consumer. It's definitely
Yeah,
geared toward-
we're creditors and homeowners are screwed. As our,
No, not creditors.
I'm sorry, debtors
Consumers
and
and
consumers, and my apologies. And as our friends can attest, their place was stolen from them by the same corrupt people in our house.
Hold on, Vet's name is
and theirs
Con.
was
Do you want him to
paid-
come here?
Theirs was paid for. Who?
Vet's him.
I don't care.
You guys do whatever you need. To
No,
do.
but anyway, it's the system is so flawed that we are hardworking people. We've accumulated. We had several homes that we earned by working hard. We're not Wall Streeters. We didn't make any money other than physical hard work. This house we bought or built 23 years ago. The two of us. And we had a couple of other places that we struggled for and bought. And the bank, or the court, this court is far away from us. Even though we've shown them proof that it's fraud. But this judge will not even attempt to look at anything we give them. That's the documents we've shown them is proof that this attorney and this
Trustee.
trustee have frauded the court. We have proof. I wish anyone in this system of our legal system would take a look at it. The only person that takes a look at it is this judge that we have to deal with, who just won't even acknowledge that we've sent it to him. He just blows it off. He won't, and there's nobody overseeing him to say, Judge, you need to look at this again. There's nobody from Washington to this little bitty courthouse here in our community, basically, that they just don't care. You're a freaking homeowner. Get out of your house. We're going to steal it and we're going to sell it for $3.1 million. We paid $1 million for it. They're going to sell it for 3.1, and guess who gets a profit? It's not us.
Do you feel like you've, in any way, like been targeted because you are people with means? Like how?
Oh, they
trying to figure out how
they
this
try to
works.
get the trustees only make $60 for a no asset case. So if you have assets, then they take the cash and they get a percentage of what assets they administer. So it's a self-interest. It's obviously a conflict.
So you're saying that this gentleman benefited from this?
Oh, we
from
could,
what's happening right
we
now?
could
God, yeah.
prove it to you. We
Yeah.
could prove it to anyone.
In some, what we're realizing is that, and the whole purpose for us speaking out and challenging the system is to let the people know that the citizenry is not safe in the system.
If you challenge
not
it,
safe.
you're blacklisted. So they're so comfortable working with homeowners who don't have the means to fight back. Therefore, they can steal it from you.
Yeah.
I don't even want to tell you how much money we've spent over the last 10, 12 years fighting to try to reach somebody that would at least look at our case.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like you're obviously like capable people who've worked very hard and like
We were
accumulated.
naive. We
We
thought
were
the system
very
worked. Well,
naive.
that's not fair.
Yeah.
That's not
So
right.
where are
There's
we?
a disconnect.
Yeah.
Something
So where are
happened
we?
where
That-
We
We share that in common with them.
We both thought it would be so simple, but we were so naive. We didn't know the system's rigged.
Yeah.
We thought,
That's
But
the
being
whole
naive
thing.
is not a crime.
well,
No.
it is in our case because we've lost everything we own. We're the criminals because we have a legal system that is just so corrupt.
Yeah.
We became the criminals. They're stealing our house
Yeah.
because we fought back. We had the means, we had the ability to fight back. We're probably that little small percentage
Right.
of people who had the finance and the knowledge and the time. She spent the last 10 years. She dropped her career while I went out and worked to try to keep her fighting our case to just save our home.
You guys have been working to like on this case for 10 years.
Since February 1st, 2012.
So that's how long you've been trying to
Yeah.
All we,
prevent what's happening today.
Yeah.
and all we wanted during that
Actually, same thing
entire
for us.
time
Same thing for us. Yeah.
was for someone in this legal system to look at the facts, the truth of our case. But there's nobody from Washington to this little dumpy office right here that these two guys represent that would look at it. The judge could care less. The only thing he cared about is representing the banks.
Yeah.
We are useless
Yeah.
on this system. We're our society. We're the throwaways.
We have to do
We're
something.
not. We're not anybody who matters. We're trash. The guys who matter are those two guys standing up there who represent the banks and the trustee. Those are the guys that our judge, I say our judge, he's not our judge, but this judge cares about
Yeah.
is making sure those
Exactly.
banks get what they want. And that means this house and anything else we own. They tried to take my car. They wanted to take my car.
This morning?
It's in my, no,
Oh, the, yeah.
the
yeah.
judge. It was in my name. I bought it.
He's not a debtor. He's not even doing it.
1987.
Yeah.
And by day, I bought it for her, but it was in my name, and they want to take that just because it had value to me.
Well,
They
and
punish us. They want to punish us.
And before we arrived today, we sent a request, or our council sent a request to the U.S. Marshals to say, we're reporting a crime. It's a crime to submit a false claim, and we're asking you to investigate it prior to you taking this drier action. And they did not.
We reached out and I asked them ahead of time.
Michael
for,
Pacou's here.
well, I think I might have spoken. I've spoken to several of them, but we asked for like the protocol, what to expect, and you know, I wanted like exacts on like how like safety would be handled, and then as we were like rushing to get here, I get a message from you that like notes
Here.
are drawn.
Yeah.
And
It was
I'm
scary.
like,
Banging
that
on
is
the
why
door.
I wanted that.
I mean, they came in with their shields up. They thought I was. They pulled the gun.
I know.
Yeah, and they pulled the gun on,
I mean,
on
I've
our
got,
friend.
I've got like, yeah, no.
Yeah, that's.
And then we thought our cat had been missing for so long.
But
But we
thank
found
God
it.
we
Yeah.
found. One of the marshals found him actually.
Yeah, at least he actually found him. It was nice. But
I don't have the marshals that are here, other than the lead marshal.
The
These
lead
guys were
knows,
great.
Michael knows.
They were very understanding. But the marshal who knows the case, and that we sent him the request to investigate this fraud, just ignored it.
But I mean,
they said that they spoke with the judge. So
Wow.
the judge
Yeah.
actually approved it.
Told him to come.
That's
it's
what Michael.
hard to get in touch with because
Yeah,
most people
I
have been
doubt
trying
it.
to do
I don't think so in
and
our
they're
case.
continuing
I'm
to
No,
try.
except for
I'm sure
us,
he's
we're a
waiting
special case.
for a call from the marshal.
That's what he told us this morning. He
Actually, I
spoke
think
with
I have it on camera.
Oh, good.
Video.
Yeah,
That he said the judge told them to move, go get them out.
I just don't understand shields
Personally.
and guns. It's like, did you open the door with like pitchforks and?
No, I think
you know,
it was.
like,
I think it
don't
was
seem
part of
threatening.
the.
Intimidation.
They want us to feel us
I think it's
threatened.
an
Intimidation.
from this guy right here, their attorney, and the other guy that he
Yeah.
represents. They wanted to intimidate us.
Yeah.
Look, the best thing that could happen for them is to make us live on that sidewalk.
Yeah.
They want the worst. They hate us.
Well, they want
I'm
the
sh-
money. It's just greed.
And they want the money.
Yeah. I mean, you've
of
read
all
the
of
John
us.
Ashcroft book.
Look
That's exactly
look
what's
at him. You know, he's smiling now. You rubbing, you know, your house.
Yeah.
He's so happy. Look at his
Yeah,
face.
they want-
Look.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
how he can sleep at night. You
I
know.
asked them if they speak to us and
Did he say no? That's because they're embarrassed. They have to. How can you not be embarrassed? You're kicking people
Yeah.
out of their home
Uh-huh.
who we didn't steal it like they're
We
stealing
even
it.
offered to buy it.
we
They
worked
know
for
they are
it.
still in your house. You know?
Yeah.
So
literally.
I
no
mean,
wonder
you know.
they won't speak to you.
So you
All
asked them
we're
and they
here-
said no?
All we're here to do is try to figure out what is going on. I have questions for everybody, to be honest.
And no one will
because
talk
it
to
doesn't
you?
make sense.
No one will talk to you?
No one on that side of the property line.
So, U.S. Marshal.
But no, our
civil-
U.S. Marshal
Yeah, look at
was kind enough to. He said that we could connect later and discuss things. So hopefully that'll
And how
work out.
about the trustee and his counsel?
No, I was told I was not able to reach him.
no surprise. It's no surprise.
I mean, I'm happy to speak to anybody. Would love to talk to. I have got questions for everybody because it really is like there's a disconnect that just like isn't making sense. You know, like and as much as like everyone that I've spoken to already like tries to explain it, it's still in. I still end with like, wait, what?
We're for me anyway. I'm in total disbelief. You know, my whole career I worked hard, and so has my wife, and we've not gained much in the realm of what others have achieved. We're really down here under the radar.
We work and get a paycheck every
Which is
month.
what.
That's how we got
That's
our money.
right. Which
yeah.
is what I'm kind of happy to do. I work.
Well, so I mean that's
And we buy,
Yeah.
we've invested because in my career, I have to earn it to put it out there for the end of the retirement. Otherwise, it's not going to be there. So we invested in real estate, and we bought this place, built it 23 years ago.
you
when it was-
built this house.
Yeah, we built
We
it.
bought it when it was dirt.
This was a dirt street all the way down to the end. And we picked this lot, built this house 23 years ago. It was only $1 million. Today you can't buy anything for $1 million. And we had to work hard to make the payments. But as time went on, we never dreamt that some crook like these guys would come steal it from us.
Yeah.
Let me
Just
get this
never-
right. You guys essentially like were the part of like the original like building of this entire
We were the
neighborhood?
first.
Oh,
we were the
we're I
first
think
street.
us and one other homeowner are the
But
last
we were the
two
first
of the
house on
originals.
this street.
Uh-huh.
We built this house in 1999. It was dirt from that. We walked the whole street. It was dirt. And there's a few neighbors that we have that are still here from those days. But these guys step in and steal it from us. We made every payment. This corrupt courthouse and these corrupt attorneys and corrupt Wells Fargo, and they know how to work the system. We
That's
don't.
a great way to say it.
We're,
Yeah.
we're,
They know
we're
what
the
to do.
Yeah,
dummies
we
who
don't
think
know, you know.
we should be
don't know
just
the
if we
law,
make the
you know.
payments, we should
How
have
to
a home
manipulate the
for our
law.
daughter who was born here, and now she's out.
You didn't just build a house, like you built a life here.
Yeah.
We,
Right?
we
Oh,
well
yeah.
we did until
You're-
today, until these assholes throw us out.
During COVID, our house was the house where the kids came to do school.
That's right. During COVID,
we did
this was
science in the backyard.
this was the neighborhood house where all the kids came around our dining table and had their school
Yeah.
during
Dining
COVID.
table
All
we
of them
left.
came right here to this house. This was the neighborhood house. It's a great neighborhood. That's why I wish some of our neighbors would come out.
I think they're
It's
scared.
too early. Yeah, with too many guns.
Yeah.
Too many guns around right
Commercials
now.
Oh,
with
yeah.
guns.
But so, where are you gonna go now? I mean, what?
We don't know.
We're not
We
sure.
don't know. We figured we'd stay in a hotel tonight and try to decide what we're going to do.
We just have to make it some sort of an adventure for our daughter.
You know what?
You know what I mean?
From
Like-
her and I can take anything except a bullet to the head. With our daughter, everything's about trying to make this not so traumatic that it interrupts her life. She's
Born and
brilliant.
raised and right here. This is right
Yeah,
here.
this is where she was born, and
She's
she
in
has
art school. Her art, all of her
everything
art
is
supplies are in
upstairs
there.
for her.
Still in
got
there?
her-
Oh yeah.
She's chose a school that's the toughest one in LA to get to. She got into that school, art school, and she's got her whole studio and everything upstairs. Now we're gonna wind up in some place that I'm just afraid it's gonna affect her. So
gotta
that's our
figure it out.
biggest fear.
So describe to me a little bit, like it seems like things are happening so quickly with the moving, like that you probably don't even have any like rhyme, reason, or like system to.
That's
you
going-
have to go through all your stuff.
Oh, no,
That's
no, I
going
was
to a
shocked.
storeroom.
Yeah.
We don't have a place to move it to, so we're putting that, everything that comes out of the house. We're leaving probably 50%.
You're leaving 50% of
Probably a major dining
Furniture
table.
and
All the
stuff.
stuff that we had built for the house is staying here.
What happens to that if you
They get
you
it.
walk away from it?
They get it. They can throw it
will
away,
say
whatever they
they'll
want.
say that they will pay to store it, but then they'll charge us for it. And the
Well,
movers that they hire, I guess, are not.
we're not
but we're
gonna.
not gonna. We
We're
would
just gonna
donate it.
do
We
it.
would-
The garage the
literally
same
just
way.
had to like prioritize and qualify certain
Yes.
things, and
I don't have any
leave.
clothing. I did not bring any clothing. I have no
Me either.
clothing.
I got a
You don't have any
suitcase
clothing,
and
right?
everything, so.
So
They told us to get out. They were kind enough to give us some time to go back in. Most of that was looking for the cat. that
Oh
was
my God.
lost. And then
the
trying to
locks
save.
opened all the doors.
Get
so
our
the cat
daughter
got out.
stuff.
So it took us an hour to try to find the cat, and then that was the
It was
time.
time to go.
I feel you on that. Of all things like that,
I mean, it has a heartbeat. You can't.
yeah, you're,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll give you the whole story, but I think you guys are just capturing the emotion of right now. So,
I think
It's been a long
think everybody
battle.
here has a whole lot of questions, and I'm just watching it playing out, and as many questions as I ask, I still can't wrap my head around how exactly and why exactly this is happening, and how it
Right.
could be okay.
But
Yeah.
you know, sadly, it's not just us. You know.
I know.
If you back this up to the point that even Army personnel,
military, yeah.
military who were in Afghanistan, they kicked their wives out of their homes. This didn't happen in our community, but we read about it. And the Army, a military guy, killed himself because his wife and two babies are kicked out on the street.
That's well
Our
documented.
Our system is just, it's just not right.
It's not working
You're a
for
veteran?
the people.
Yes, I am a veteran. I was in the Air Force, but do you think they care? Veterans get kicked out just like everybody else gets kicked out. They don't care. And we've talked to the Veterans Association. They don't care.
Well, our Congresswoman
Wow.
Brownlee, she wrote us this letter, which I'll give to you. Like, she's done so much for veterans, and we
Yeah.
appreciate you reaching out, but we can't help.
Yeah, we,
So,
Yeah.
you saw the letter.
yeah, and we also spoke to her office. They're obviously aware that one of her constituents, she's aware of your case, and
She has the evidence.
That you
We
are
gave her the
being
evidence,
evicted
not
today.
just
Yeah.
we're being wrongfully, but we're saying, hey, this is a systemic problem.
And instead of a statement, which I was guaranteed, the statement that I got was that they had responded to you,
Oh.
and that was all that I got back.
So that sounds.
Was not the statement that I was like that.
No.
You know, so
No. Well, that tells you right there.
yeah, I don't know her personally, but her office does not seem it was not very helpful to me, and it didn't have a very good attitude on the conversation we shared.
I'm glad you witnessed that call.
Yeah, that was pretty telling.
But we get that everywhere. You know, all we've asked for and really naively thought that someone over this little office down here that we have to deal with in this courthouse, there'd be somebody that had an oversight that would say, hey, wait a minute, you need to relook at that. They've presented you evidence, facts that you don't even look at or acknowledge. So rule on the facts, but this judge won't do it, and there's nobody over him. We've tried 10 years plus to get anyone other than this local judge to look at this case, but nobody will do it.
No, and Congress is aware that
And
the
the-
U.S.
the- you
trustee
know-
system is flawed.
Well,
Congress is aware.
you've been doing this for 10 years. We've come in we've been following it more recently, and in our time of research, I get the feeling that like everybody that we reach out to absolutely is familiar with your case
Oh,
and
okay.
doesn't want to deal with
Oh,
speaking
interesting.
about it.
With the reality.
That's interesting.
That's just my findings in the time that we've been
Okay.
following your
I
case
didn't
and
know
talking
that.
with you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, we are blacklisted
Well, for sure.
because we fight back. You know, we've spent the funds to fight these guys, we spend it truly, and we've talked about it many, many times over the 10 plus years. We've spent it to fight the system. We shouldn't have to spend that much money to fight the system, to try to find a balance.
Right. I
We
imagine-
understand everything's not going to be in our favor, even if we have all the facts. We get that. but
of course.
everything's against us, from the appeals court to this little courthouse. Everything they rule with every fact in front of them that they ignore. So all we want is if there's somewhere in our system that something's that's not
Yeah, and I can
biased.
imagine in 10 years you've probably tried,
Every
Oh,
avenue,
everything.
Yeah.
every
Everything.
you know,
And we've
So we have to, I think we have to, as the citizenry, you know, I think
Yeah,
the
which-
public, we have to get together.
but
So-
but you know, they first started out saying we were trying to get a free house.
Oh, right.
So
Deadbeat bar
but-
owners are trying to get a free house,
but
yeah.
just so you know, we've spent more money on attorneys than this house cost. So the free house thing was out the window when they
Right.
threw it in our face.
Plus
but
we
that
were
was the
paying the
biggest
payments,
argument.
taxes and insurance.
and I know this about you too. Like it's because I believe like for you guys like the injustice of it is worth more than the monetary
Well, I think you have to have a moral compass, and at
It's your
some
home.
point do what's right,
You-
not just for
you
you,
know-
but for everyone. I mean, if we individually don't make the right decisions on a daily basis, like this is what's in front of me today. So today I'm going to make the decision to do this. And if we don't do that to support each other, then we got the system that we deserve. That's why we have this
So
system.
on the flip
Exactly.
side, you
Exactly.
mentioned earlier that like
That's
you know,
why you
like,
have to try to do
naive,
something
like,
there. You can't
so
just
at one
give up,
point
you know,
you were
no matter
naive,
what, you
and
know.
it has cost
No
you
one
That's
think,
why
now a
you have to
decade
protest. I'm
of
telling
fighting
you.
to this end.
Look at them, you know,
Yeah,
they spent $2
we've
million.
lost the battle. They won. They took the house.
You built a beautiful life and you missed one. You know, like you.
Yeah.
Well, we were naive. We thought.
I thought justice was imbalanced, and I thought.
Well, you thought justice was bad.
I'm sorry. Justice was balanced, and that I thought that once we presented the truth, it would be an easy decision. But it was the opposite. The more we fought, no matter, it was really almost comical, some of the stuff, because except it was so harmful.
I mean, like kangaroo
But-
court-ish.
Yeah, but we would put all the facts on the table with the judge. Over here, this attorney would say nothing. He almost wouldn't even reply, as in your case as well. They didn't even show up for his case. But guess what? The court still rules against us and against him, even though they don't even respond to what we presented to the judge.
And
They
yet-
still go to defend them, and the judge, this particular judge, actually from the bench, tells the attorneys on the opposing side how to come after me.
He's not even a.
I'm not even in his system, but he's telling the attorneys for the banks how to come after me. From the bench.
That's not a joke. That's true.
I mean, it's like this guy
And
is
the
a
bank
lunatic.
even said, "Oh, I didn't think of that."
We have that in writing.
Oh, yeah,
It's part
in
of
the
the
transcript.
part of the
100%.
transcript.
Yeah.
So meanwhile,
So-
those officials are in your house. That
Yeah.
You're
Stealing.
not allowed.
Yeah.
They
You're
won.
not
We
allowed
can't
in
go
here.
in,
They're in there
but
now.
They
You're-
won.
The sidewalk is where you're
the fraudsters.
limited to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
that
fraudsters,
They
yeah.
can't say we were
gave-
deadbeats. We
gave
paid
vows
the
to.
payments. They can't say we're trying to get a free house. We made the payments. So
Yeah,
once
that was
those
a-
arguments, which are like just negative PR driven, trying to keep us separated as
that-
humanity.
That's a big deal. You know, if we didn't pay for the house, if we missed payments, I'd understand.
That'd be a different
we'd lose
story.
the house.
It's a
But
different story.
we've
It's still
made-
not okay, but it's a
Well,
different
no,
story.
but I can't argue that. But all I'm saying is, if that was the case, we'd have a weaker argument. I'll put it that way. If we missed payments, but we never missed a payment. We have proof. These guys are in our house because they frauded the court, and the issue is the court knew they were being frauded, and ignored the whole thing.
100%.
So we've got, it's an issue of frauding the court and the court acting on that fraud, but in our case, it was the fraud on the court and the court knew it was fraud. And they still ruled in the favor of the banks.
Yeah, what does that mean?
So
What
there's
does that
no way
mean?
to win here. There's
No.
no way to win.
That's what we're trying to
If
say.
if you're a
is that
homeowner.
Right.
the public is not safe
Mm-hmm.
in these
Then-
systems, and that's and they have a particular. It seems to be like a particular hostility toward homeowners.
Yeah.
And it's like if
Well, that's because the value is
Mhm.
here.
That's
They-
true.
This is what they.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
For
Yeah.
in our case, their equity is going to be $6 million or so. Over
all
the
the
over the
properties.
over the homes they've taken from us.
So they're
And that was our retirement for our daughter that we worked for the last 100 years.
So you like, it's no coincidence you don't think that like, 'cause that they targeted like.
Oh, yeah.
well, he
beautiful
doesn't
home that
make
you built
money.
that's-
He doesn't make money unless there's assets that he can administer.
Yeah.
So
So,
they
yes.
came after us because and our friends because they had an asset that had a value to this system.
Yeah, he gets a
And-
percentage.
And there's no way that this court, the guy making the decisions against us and against other homeowners, has no interest in the result of the sale of this home or their home. It's a money issue. They get money. Otherwise, they wouldn't do that.
No.
They've taken
No.
already. We've paid them in cash. Just this group, they've taken $600-something thousand from us already. $650 or so already from us in cash. That wasn't theirs to take, but the judge says, "Oh yeah, go ahead, take it." It just the system is. There's nobody that gives a damn about people who own homes.
There isn't. That's why we're talking
And,
about
and
this.
sadly, I don't know how you stay out of that system.
I mean, it almost sounds like there's an attitude of like you deserve it.
Yes.
Yes.
Because you
Done
Yeah,
well.
but
are
exactly.
fighting
But
back.
And
I
to
wish
fight back.
Because you worked and you.
I wish I knew how we got into it because I would rather, if we had any
We
That's what,
would've done
idea.
it.
that's what I'm really trying to figure out. I was like, I know you say like there was like you were naive. I heard that as like as a common thread through folks that I've like in my research so far. And like I want to figure out like what is that like that moment where like what have they done that's like
I'm not prepared to like give you the whole story
we
right
can
now
talk
because
about
I'm
it later,
in
but
shock.
that's
But
yeah, I know.
so I think,
But I think that
today
that's-
is about the emotion of today.
But the bigger question is
how-
how does that happen?
Yeah, and how do you avoid
Easier
it?
than you think.
I mean, I
That's
believe
the-
so,
That's the
obviously.
warning.
Yeah, that's the
That's
Yeah.
the warning.
But-
I mean, when Wells Fargo is well known for their,
Fraud.
misconduct,
Yeah.
criminal misconduct
Quite a-
against the
Fraud.
public. I mean, they're well known. So the presumption
Fraudulent.
should have gone to us that there was wrongdoing, but it didn't.
Yeah, they don't give the benefit of the doubt to the homeowner. That should be
No.
that should be the default
It's
mode.
biased against the home.
It's so yeah, but the default mode instead is for the bank.
Yes, there's a bias, and that was that whole 2008 crisis when they said people were trying to get homes for free and deadbeat borrowers, but homeowners would never even think of that. Like, what are you even talking about? We're talking about a
Home for free. I know.
Yeah, the home for free is a joke.
They're getting the
Such a joke.
Yeah, they get the home for free. But the home for free is silly because nobody's going to go against a court
home. Didn't make
trying
any
to get
sense.
a court house for free because you're going to spend more than the house fighting the case to get the house.
Yeah.
And so we've spent more than we paid for this house to try to fight this case. Actually, twice as much as this thing costs, and we still lose the
Lost
house.
house.
Because the value to you of you being wronged,
Well-
and so it's
And not only of this, but we finally determined one of the issues we talked about was that what she's spent her career on now in the last 10, 12 years is this system. And she's educated enough